Flag salute.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing while Councilman Sarah leads us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve our community. Help us to work together, to treat each other with kindness, and to always find value in the opinions and ideas that are shared in this room. We ask that you continue to watch over our city and that you guide this governing body in creating an environment of success and prosperity as we move forward into the new year. Amen. And could you please remain standing for a moment of silence for Cy Techner. He is the father-in-law of Councilman Dennis Aney, who recently passed away. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome to our council meeting. The first half an hour of the council meeting we spend in executive session, and as we always do, we have our attorney go over what we talked about in our executive session. Would you please let us know, Fred?
In executive session, the mayor and city council discussed a contract matter, specifically a contract with Stockton University for operation of the Coastal Research Center. Additional information will be made available in this matter at the next council meeting, at which time council will actually consider that contract. Another contract matter was discussed, that being the operation contract for the mini golf course. The current contract expires on June 29. Council provided certain direction to our office in terms of potential discussions with the current operator. Personnel matters. The manager reported that there are 2 upcoming retirements in the police department. Captain Rubino and Sergeant Fannin are retiring. Manager also reported in regard to certain promotions in the police department. Richard Casamento is being promoted to captain. Brian Thean is being promoted to lieutenant, and John Glasser is being promoted to sergeant. In the fire department, there is 1 upcoming retirement, as reported by the manager. That is Bill Baldwin. In regard to litigation, a report was provided in regard to the litigation dealing with the Seagull Motel. The manager provided information relating to the current physical status of the hotel and that it has been secured. In regard to the actual legal matters, my office reported that all of the orders are in place and have been signed by the court. There was a discussion about a land purchase by the municipality. Property that we've referred to as the Wolf property is currently the subject matter of that discussion. Contracts have been prepared and are being circulated, and it is hopeful that these contracts will be signed in the next 2 weeks. Also on personnel matters, council discussed a variety of committees in the municipality. Information will be made available this evening in regard to those committees as council appoints the membership to the committees for 2019. Other matters, council also discussed the vacancy in the 2nd Ward Council seat. Additional information will be made available in that matter this evening when council considers agenda item number 6. Council also discussed the appointment of a deputy mayor. Additional information will be made available this evening as council will appoint a deputy mayor. Mr. Mayor, that's it.
Thank you, Fred. Okay, now we're going to I'm going to talk about 3 individuals we're going to talk about with our 2nd Ward councilperson. There's 3 names out there, and then we're going to vote on 3 names is Paul Lettieri, Bill Ferris, and Captain Rick. All fine gentlemen, all would do a great job. My recommendation, as it was back in executive session, was Paul Lettieri. Paul, I've known for probably 20 years now. Comes from Philadelphia. loves Brigantine, hard worker, dedicated worker, and good friend. I think he would be an excellent addition to our council up here to work with the citizens of Brigantine, and I know he'll work hard and he will give everything he has. So, not saying anything other two candidates, but I feel Paul has the time. He's also a veteran. He's also vice president of the Legion Riders, and he's always out there. And sad things, the funerals and stuff like that, whatever our veterans need. So, my recommendation would be Paul Lettieri.
I'll make that motion.
Lynn, can we have roll call, please?
View? Yes. Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Reardon?
I just want to say, they couldn't have picked a better guy. I couldn't have a better guy for filling my position there on the second ward. I've known you helping out people in the area, not just in the second ward. Last winter in particular, there was senior citizens that need to get plowed out, and you came out there and just came in, plowed them out, and took off, and thank you for your service as a veteran to this country, and I know you're so active, and I'm really looking forward to working with you, Paul. And it's a good group down at the end of the table there, so congratulations, and my vote is yes.
So I'm honored to vote yes for Paul. He is a hard worker. He has dedicated his life to serving our country and serving the community, and he's exactly the type of person that Brigantine needs, so yes.
Mayor Simpson?
Well, again, with Paul, I just mentioned a lot of things, and I'm glad Councilman Reardon. Paul actually calls me up during the snowstorms and asks me, what people do you need plowed? You know, he goes around with his truck, and at no charge, he goes and gets people out. And I don't call him, he calls me, and I really appreciate that. And the citizens of Brigantine really don't appreciate Paul Lettieri. So I'm voting yes.
Motion carried.
Paul, would
You bring your family.
Bible and your granddaughter.
The other way.
repeat after me, Paul.
The other way.
Yeah, raise your right hand. There you go. Or make the cushion.
Repeat after me, Paul. I, Paul Lettieri,
I, Paul Lettieri,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith,
I will bear true faith,
allegiance
allegiance
to the same
to the same
and the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
justly
justly
perform the duties
perform the duties
of a member of the Second Ward Councilman
as a member as the Second Ward Councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the committee that made the choices. I'd like to thank council for their support, and I only hope that I can follow in Mike Reardon's footsteps to be as good a ward leader as he was. But that doesn't mean I won't work for the other wards or the other members on the council. That's including even members of the opposite political party. Right down the middle. Okay? Thank you very much.
Come on up. Karen, I have a poem that I want to...
Go ahead.
Just kidding. I was saying, I had a poem that I wanted to, but there was a motion against it, so,
Okay. Congratulations, Paul, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask for approval for the December 27th council meeting and January 2nd council meeting and executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? See none? Can I have roll call, please?
View? Yes. Oh, you'll need to abstain on these.
Okay.
Lettieri?
Abstain?
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Sarah?
Abstain on 1227, yes to 1-2.
Mayor Simpson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we're going to move things around a little bit. We're going to do our committees. First thing I would like to do is make a nomination for Vince Sarah to be my deputy mayor. So I need a first and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Any questions or concerns about Vince being deputy mayor? Well, we only have to 12 o'clock, so I can't keep on talking, so. Can we have roll call, please?
View? Yes. Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes, thank
Mayor
you.
Simpson?
You should have abstained. I'm proud to have Vince Sarah as my right-hand man.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do the committees now. Lynn? So can you read them off, please?
Sure. Planning board members, these are the ones that need to be reappointed. Class 1, Mayor Andy Simpson. Class 2, firefighter Trevor Cohen. Class 3, Councilman Paul Lettieri. Alternate number 2, Ralph Palatucci. Alternate number 3, Eugene Nace. And alternate number 4, Frank DeAngelis. Need a motion and a second.
Need a motion and a second.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none? Can we have roll call, please?
View? Yes. Lettieri?
No.
No.
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Sarah?
Yes,
Mayor Simpson?
Vote yes, everybody except Frank DeAngelis. No on that. That's a full yes on that.
How can you do that to Frankie?
Because he was sitting there. I had to do it. John, I know John didn't like it, but
Okay, the Recreation Commission. There's 12 voting members: Tony Wilson, Paul Cabala, William Hoffman Sr., Bob Gargiulio, Chris Campitelli, Paul Amafatano, Mike Stinson, John Johnson, Ed Fitzgerald, Frank Burbridge, Dennis Haney, Paul Lettieri, Nick Crossan as a non-voting member, Jim Mogan as the advisor, and Joe Urbanis as an honorary member.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none? Can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, next one, Lynn?
Next one is the Golf Course Committee. We're only going to be doing the ones that need to be reappointed. Karen View as chair, Andy Simpson as ex officio, John Savini, Bruce Hunt, and Mike Lang Jr.
Need a first and second?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none? Please, roll call, please.
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next one, Lynn, please.
Next one is Clean Communities. There's 5 voting members. Joe Campitelli as co-chair, voting member. Charlie Miller, voting member. John Dorings, co-chair advisor, is a voting member. Frank DeAngelis, voting member. Bill Hoff, voting member. Vince Sarah, voting member. Dennis Haney, voting member. And the next ones are non-voting members, and that would be Armand Bud Paglione, Bill Barnish, Guido Battaglini, Ann Phelps, Jerry Calley, Jim Calley, M.D. Islam, Don Marandino, John Pucci, and junior members Megan Baldwin and Aaron Baldwin.
Okay, we need a first and second.
I'll make that motion.
Any questions? Hear none?
Yeah, I've actually one thing, I know we put this through, but I think John Pucci requested to not go on.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because he's actually going to start traveling and stuff, and he didn't know if he would have time. And I'm sorry, I just thought of it now when I looked at the list. I apologize for the lateness.
So we're going to take John Pucci off the list.
I'll make a motion as amended.
Second.
Okay, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next one, Lynn?
Municipal Alliance is 15 members. Paul Robinson, Andy Grossman, John DiMatteo as chair, Irene Brodsky, Alice Hoff, William Hoff, Paul Lettieri, Ann Phelps, Andrew Simpson, John Scotland, John Gans, Dawn Jones, Rosie Culleny as a non-voting member, a police representative, and a school representative.
So
Okay,
moved.
First and second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who moved?
Vince moved it, and Mike seconded it. Any questions? See none? Can we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Next one is Cultural Arts. There are 13 members. Mary DeMarco as the chair, Pam Carchidi, Joanne Milnitz, Marie St. Clair, Grace Franzoy, Jane Ann Hart, Robert Kearns, Linda Kangemi, Joanne DeMayo, Mike Reardon, Kathy Skimmons, Leah Holcomb, and Pat Orchard.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none? Can we have a roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Economic Development and Tourism Committee. These are the people that need to be reappointed or appointed. Jack Kelly, Vince Sarah, Doug Keith, Bill Hannon, John Burns.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none? Please have roll call, please.
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre.
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, the Beach Committee, Vince Sarah, Chairperson, Rick DeLucre, Andy Grossman, Tony Saxby, Frank DeAngelis, John Parrott Jr., Joe Guglielmo, I knew I was going to mess it up, sorry, Joe. I do it every time. Doris Sandler, Ryan Hurst as Secretary, Christina Perry, Casey Johnson.
Did we get John Ferret Jr.?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know.
The ex officio members are the City Manager, Director of Public Works, Chief of Police, Chief of Fire Department, Chief of Beach Patrol, and the designees are Roxanne, Bill Hoffman, Tim Daly, Fran Mazzino.
Can I have a first and second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. And the Green Team. Jeanette Kessler as Chair. And then these are all voting members. Lisa McClay, Cheryl Massioli, Shirley Morgan, Fran Paulin, Donna Pekarsky, Linda Kangemi, Joanne Milnes, Judy Starkey, Christelle Laletta, Robert Shaley, Kelly Carullo, John Adrizo, John Butler, Karen Bew. And then the alternates would be Denise Hackinson, Bobby DeLucre, Janalyn Janita, Emily Mattis. And the ex officio members are John Doring and Joe Campitelli.
Okay, can I have a first and second?
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried. And that's it.
Okay, thanks, Lynn. Great job, appreciate that. And I appreciate all the volunteers and the people who keeps the island the way it is and keeps the island moving ahead, you know, with these committees. And very important to keep, like, the beach committee and the economic development and everything like that. It's, you know, and you know, I kid around with Frankie DeAngelis, you know, now he's on 3 committees and, you know, and planning board and stuff like that, so that's very important to the citizens of Brigantine. Public comment on agenda items only. Anybody who wants to come up and speak about anything on the agenda tonight, come up, use the microphone and their name, address, and what they want to talk about. I see none, so I'm going to close the public portion and move right into our agenda. Ordinance number 1, 2019, amending the Charter 284 of the Code of the City of Brigantine related to no parking bus stop zone. I need a second and first.
So moved.
Second.
Jimmy, you want to talk about this, about the no bus zone? I think it's on Lagoon Boulevard.
Yeah, briefly, Mayor, it's by Lagoon and Del Mar. We were approached some time ago to have it moved as the bus stop was infringing on a resident's driveway. So basically, we deleted one spot, shifted it back, and got it out of everybody's way while keeping it in the same general area. Doesn't inconvenience any of the residents there.
So basically, we still have the bus stop and,
Bus stop is there, we just took it away from this person's driveway.
okay.
It's down at the other end of the block.
Okay.
Jim, I'm trying to place it, and
Maybe Rick, let's get a first and second.
Oh.
I don't think we did.
No,
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did?
First and
Okay.
second.
I'm still back on the committees. I don't know why Fred's not on one, though. Go ahead,
Rick. Thank you.
I apologize.
I accept that apology.
Jim,
Yes.
is the spot now in front of, I think it's 500 Lagoon? Or,
Yeah, on the
I'm trying to
corner of
place-
on the corner of Delmar and Lagoon, right off of the corner of Delmar and Lagoon, they have that odd-shaped lot there, and then the first condo, that's where it's,
Yeah.
that's where it was blocking, and we're moving it to the opposite side, the southern side.
okay, so is it going down then to, closer to, was it Alberta?
Yes.
Oh, okay, not towards Sailfish, the other
No,
direction.
the other
It's
direction.
it's actually just right across the street, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Just on the opposite
literally
end.
like
Just on the
20
opposite end.
20 feet away from where it was. It's across the street,
Northern.
on the side of
Easterly side
Moon
of
Bay, is it
Delmar
right
Drive.
there or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a great move.
Okay.
Well, it's not in the Moon Bay side though, right? We're talking about the,
Correct.
Yeah,
Moving it
the
from
northbound side.
Moving it from the southern side, or from the northern side to the southern side. Let's bring up the map.
okay.
Okay. Anybody from the public want to talk about this ordinance? Seeing none, any more comments from council? Hearing none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalupri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2019/16, temporary budget. We have our CFO here, Roxanne, and I'm sure she's going to give us in details of what we're going to do with our temporary budget.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we are beginning a new year, and in order for the city to operate, we need to approve a temporary budget, and normally statute says that it can be up to 26.25% of your previous year's budget, exclusive of debt and interest. So the 26.25% would have been approximately $7.6 million. This temporary budget represents about $7.3 million. This will allow the city to operate, hopefully, until we come up with our permanent
Current.
budget for 2019.
And when do you expect that, Roxanne?
As soon as we can.
Good answer.
I'm, I'm on it.
Okay. Yes, I have spoke to the auditor about it, and I see Roxanne's burning the midnight oil, and I have no doubt those two will come up with an excellent budget for the city of Brigantine. You want me to tell the people that I think you're the most...
No, I really,
You're the best CFO in
It's okay.
the state of New
It's okay.
Jersey?
I appreciate it, but it makes me nervous.
Yeah. So, any questions from council? Seeing none, can I have roll call, please?
Can we have motion and second first?
Well, I tried it.
So moved.
Second.
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalupri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
I need a motion and second for Resolution 2019/17, temporary budget debt service.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I'm going to go right back to Roxanne.
Again, this is not necessarily so temporary. This is a separate introduction of our interest and debt expenses that we will incur this year. So this all sets it up at the beginning of the year by, it's mandated that we automatically assume we will make our debt payments. So this separates it from the rest of the operating expenses, but this is pretty much what our debt payments will be this year for the entire city.
Any questions from council? Okay, hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalupri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Need a first and second on Resolution 2019/18, reserve transfer.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, back to you.
All
You're on
right.
again.
As most of you know, we have 2 years to spend our budget, and what this does is just allow us to realign where we have allocated budget dollars to where we actually need them, and it really has to do with utilities. This is just reclassing from the reserve, from street lighting into the other various utilities. This year, I feel really good that the books now represent a very good allocation between street lighting and electricity. There are two different allocations, and this is just to now put everybody back in line and make our final payments for December.
Okay, any questions from council? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a first and second for a resolution 2019/19 cash management plan.
Make that motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, we don't have a cash management.
You can't spend money.
Okay. It's one way to stop it.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Roxanne.
Thank you, Mayor. As customary, every January, the city needs to adopt a cash management plan. This pretty much mirrors what was adopted in previous years, except there is a new part in this, which has to deal with electronic funds transfers. Recently, in 2018, a local finance notice went out to try to clarify and expand the city's use of electronic funds transfers. And one of the requirements of the local finance notice was that we should identify our policies. We haven't really changed any of the things that we do. We're not thinking right now to use it for vendor payments. These are all debt payments, tax payments that we are required, and we do electronically. So within this document is just a summary of what our policies are when it comes to the electronic funds transfers. But nothing that we've been doing has changed, or and if we decide to change, we will then expand our policies to incorporate current practice.
Didn't we have a problem a year or so ago with I believe it was TD Bank at the time?
Yes.
It wasn't the bank's fault, but it was a problem.
Yeah, and since then, we've taken more measures
Yours measured, right?
to safeguard our assets. We have hard blocks on our accounts, which means unless we've given them the authorization, no one is to take money in and out of our account. So there's tons of blocks we put on, and as I don't remember if you were there, but I did tell them next time they need to make sure they tell me there was nothing I could have done to prevent that from happening. It is one of the things that makes me lose sleep at night, but we've done everything we possibly can to try to safeguard the activity.
Okay. Any questions from council? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I need a first and second on a 2019/20 designating a official banks.
So moved. Second.
Roxanne?
Ooh. Sure.
Earning your check.
Yes, this is, we don't have much activity going on, but we do use the State of New Jersey Cash Management Fund. We will be, any bank that we do use, that is in our cash management plan needs to be a government unit deposit act. They need to participate in it, and that, again, safeguards the city's assets, cash assets. It's very different than the FDIC that you would normally see in a bank. This guarantees your funds, so it is a protection.
Okay. Any questions from council, please? Hearing none, can I have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I'm going to double back here, 'cause since we got rid of the finance stuff. We never voted on the pay list. There was nothing on my bill, on my agenda.
Yep, there wasn't.
So it's all free, right?
Everybody's getting paid.
Well, thank God we got me. I don't think Mayor Gunther's pretty old. We got that one. Thank you.
Here for you.
Does everybody have a list?
Yeah, we were
Just-
emailed about it.
Okay. So I'm going to need a first and second. I don't know what the payroll expenses, I guess for the week of January 16th,
And the requisition
2019.
Dated January 14th.
January 14th.
Yeah, that was the date of Karen's,
It paid
Summary
through
to everybody.
January 14th?
yeah.
Okay. Paying through January 14th, 2019.
So move.
Second.
Does anybody have questions about pay list? Okay, hearing none, can we have roll call on that?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I think we gave John Doring about a $50,000 raise there, I don't know, but... Thank you. You're welcome. Red's bill was probably on there too.
You know.
Okay, I need a first and second on Resolution 2019/21, naming a official newspaper.
Make that motion.
Second.
I have a question. And I asked this earlier, but I think it's important for the public to know too. We designate two papers, the Atlantic City Press and the Philadelphia Inquirer. And I guess my question for the city manager is how come the Brigantine Times isn't included in that?
Lynn can follow up with this if need be, but by law, the newspapers have to publish 52 weeks a year in order for us to use them as a legal official newspaper for our legal notices, tax notices, things like that.
Okay.
The Times takes his 2-week break, and that disqualifies him as our official legal newspaper,
Okay. And I just thought it was...
Charge either for,
and doesn't charge.
I just thought it was important for the public to know because a lot of our Brigantine residents use that newspaper, but I think people need to know why we can't do it because it's only 50 weeks a year and it's a free paper. So is that a state statute that says we can't do that?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Any other comments? Hearing none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a first and second on Resolution 2019/22, extending the food and beverage concession contract for the Brigantine Golf Links.
So move.
Second. Okay, this is, Jim, this is the, okay, this is,
Party going on back there.
the party going on behind us.
Shift change.
Okay. This is the food and beverage at the golf links, and we're going to extend it to the Cove.
Correct, yeah, 19th Hole LLC at the Links,
Okay.
a.k.a. the Cove, for one
I
more
think
year.
this is 1 year. and
1 year
This is
extension.
last year,
Yes, Mayor,
then we would have to go out for RFP again.
correct.
Okay. Questions by council? Hearing none, let's have roll call, please.
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalukri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
I can handle that. Okay, we have item 17, which is blank, so there's nothing on there, Lynn?
We're going to 18, yeah.
Okay, so 17 is nothing. Okay.
That's a payroll.
It was the payroll, okay. Why does it say John Doran?
Every sin's John's raised.
Resolution 2019/23, authorizing the tax assessor as the agent in adjusting appeals and reducing assessments. Need a first and second on that.
Make that motion.
Second.
Okay, questions by council? Pretty self-explanatory. Have none, please give us roll call.
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalukri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Need a first and second on Resolution 2019/24, fixing the rate of interest to be charged on delinquent taxes and setting the grace period. So moved.
Second.
Jimmy, you want to explain how we get to a rate here and the grace period on delinquent taxes? This is on a tax sale.
I'd love to, Mayor, but unfortunately, with our, excuse me, our tax collector's recent illness, her and I haven't been able to sit down and put it into a form that we can all understand. Well, more importantly, I could understand and relate to you. But
I mean, the rates that are in this resolution are standard and
Standard.
pretty much statute. And it is progressive, has to do with delinquent taxes.
Means whatever, if somebody has to go to tax sale, that we will charge them interest rate, or we'll set an interest rate on whoever buys the tax sale off the individual or off the city. The city will get paid in full, and that individual will charge the person that was liened the percentage that we set here. And the grace period is whatever the tax assessor made to, so she or he can get the taxes paid or when they're delinquent.
I think the grace period is within 10 calendar days.
That's correct. Because when you pay your taxes, if it's due on the 1st, if you pay them within the 10 days, you don't get penalized. Okay, any questions? Okay, hear none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalukri,
yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2019/25, real estate tax exemption. I need a first and second.
So moved.
Second.
Roxanne, can you speak on the tax exemption?
These individuals purchased the property, and it was determined that there's 100% permanently and totally disabled. So under the statute, they would not be responsible for taxes. They would be tax exempt. So this is just to set their status as a tax exempt.
And this is something that's available to all veterans who are 100% disabled.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? Okay, hear none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
Jalukri,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2019/23, authorization of due maintenance permits. Need a first and second.
So moved.
Second.
Can you speak on where this maintenance is going to be taken care of?
Yes, Mayor. On either side of the beach entrances, 23rd Street, that'd be the 400 block, two properties there, 407 and 406 23rd Street. Behind 406 23rd Street, there's another permit to be issued at 405 24th Street. And the final one is at number 10 Ocean Drive West.
We good?
We are good, yeah. I met with the zoning officer. He explained the procedure to me and showed me everything he does before and after, which I'd be happy to explain if need be. And I'm satisfied that the two companies that are doing the work are professionals and will do it well.
Now, after they finish the work, does the zoning officer or whoever down the building inspector's office go out and examine the work?
Yes, Mark Coyne, excuse me, Mark Coyne, our zoning officer, goes out before, once he gets the application, he goes out before, meets with the property owner or with the contractor who's going to be doing the work. He surveys the area, he takes photographs of the area before the work gets done. He gets a brief description, or as much as he can, from the contractors to what's going to be done, whether it's going to be stumped or just cleaned up or whatever. When it's finished, Mark is notified, he goes back out, does another inspection, makes sure that they stuck to what they were supposed to in agreement with their permit, and takes after photos, and they all go into a file.
Does he measure and stuff like that? Because I think we're at 8 foot.
8 foot, yeah. The cut heights are usually given to Mark in the application. Again, we have Steve Thistle, who's a professional tree guy, and Hellfighters, Tim Mancuso's company. Obviously, you know, we all have seen them around. But Mark will go out and check if it appears that, you know, the tree is cut shorter than what it's supposed to be, he will measure it.
And John, I think you're familiar with the Hellfighters. Don't they do our work out here?
Yeah, they do very good work for us.
There shouldn't be any there is no stumping as far as I'm as far as I have read in the applications on any of these properties. It's just going to be cleanup.
But we do allow stuff.
Yes.
Just because I took over with this, but if there is stumping that they intend to do, they need to present a separate plan, and then we'll
Right.
deal with it at that particular point in time.
The remediation plan they put in place if they're going to stop.
Is that under our beach replenishment program? Good.
So Jim, the applications have been approved, and where work has been completed. I don't know if any have been completed yet, but in each file, there's going to be photos of the before conditions and the after conditions?
That's correct, Councilman.
And an analysis is done by Mark Coyne or by somebody to verify that the application and whatever representations are made were carried out, and the other things weren't done?
That's correct. So the procedure is, I guess, as follows. They submit their application. Mark reviews it. He meets with either the homeowner or the contractor. All the last ones that we have approved, he's met with the contractor on site. He surveys the area. He takes his pictures, the before pictures. They're notified when it's done. He goes back out, compares the site to what it looked like in the pre-pictures, make sure that they've abided by what they put in their application, and then snaps the after shots.
And what's the practice, if there is one, in terms of the removal of things which are cut down or trimmed back? Is everything to be removed? Or
Everything is to be removed, yes. Both Steve Thistle and Hellfighters take their debris with them.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are there other contractors other than those two?
I'm sure there are others out there, but most of the local folks hire this Steve Thistle and his contracted company because they're very good. He's an arborist.
And they're all arborists.
Yeah, and Tim Mancuso is a New Jersey State certified tree specialist.
So they're not going to cut anything that's, oh, I want that cut down. They're not gonna cut it.
No, the plan gets put in, and they're only allowed to do what is put in for the application.
I think one of the things to note too with this is, You know, this is a practice here in Brigantine that we've had for over 30 years, and I know we've worked in the last year to really improve this practice. We've had Stu Farrell, who's part of the Stockton Research Program, who's been monitoring our beaches for, I think, well over 30 years. He reviewed our proposal of what we plan to do with this, and he's also come in here to council to speak, you know, on the health and the vitality of our dune system. And I've actually met with the Army Corps of Engineers and the DEP, and they actually talk about how the dune system we have here in Brigantine is actually the model for the state of New Jersey. They used Hurricane Sandy as basically one of their big benchmarks, and they showed how our dune system that we have here in place is very, very strong and did what it needed to do.
Besides our dune maintenance plan that we've had in place here for years and years, I want to compliment Superintendent John Doring also. I noticed some dune fences and between the other programs we have with the Christmas trees, you can really see the dunes building up, and it's a compliment to you, John, and rest of Public Works, and it's great to see. It's great to see it. Walk the beach every day, and you see the dunes build up on those Christmas trees and different things along the fence. It's great.
Thank you. Okay. One comment I would have is I have these permits come in front of council every time. I don't think we should be.
No need for it.
No, it's no need because we have Mark Coyne that's been doing our maintenance program, and he knows, you know.
We could end it in my office if you'd like, Mayor, so it stops with me, if you don't want to bring it in front of council every meeting.
Yeah, I just think it's, you know, it's not a practice we should, you know, for every time that Tom Rehill's officer pulls somebody over, it sounds like we have to approve either the person gets a ticket or don't get a ticket.
Or the
You know.
construction permits, like we don't.
Yeah, we don't do the construction permits and stuff like that. That's why we have these professionals in place. I think it's one step too far, to be honest with you. And if you want to talk?
No, go ahead.
We're going to have problems.
The solicitor said we would have to amend the ordinance, but you know, that's fine, we can just have it in
And,
my office.
well, that's just my opinion. I don't know how the rest of the council feels. If they want to continue to have these permits come in front of us, again, it's maintenance for, we're not taking the dunes out or anything like that. It's basically trimming stuff back. They did that in California, they wouldn't have had the fires, maybe. So I just think it's maintenance. It's not something we're destroying or anything like that. And I think it's, you know, counterproductive if it comes in front of council every time you need a permit. And our construction office definitely can handle that permit, especially with somebody like Mark Coyne, because he'll know more than we know. He's excellent at the rules. So
I feel confident that our dune maintenance program is good and solid, and like you said before, we don't approve construction permits and things like that.
Right.
So I feel comfortable letting Mark handle it.
Mark or city
Or
engineer,
whoever, and
you know,
and
with
it's
oversight
stopping
from
at
our
your
city
office.
manager,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I think coming to this level, unless you have to bring it to us, is something that I think if we amend the ordinance, if Fred can handle that, I would,
Can we do a voice resolution to get it started right tonight, after we vote on this?
Is it something we have to have a public hearing on?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need?
We'll have an ordinance for you for introduction at the next meeting.
Okay.
Good.
Any other questions? Okay, hear none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
3 of these 4 designated areas are within view of where I live, so for that reason, abstain.
DeLucre,
Yeah, not to spoil the suspense, I'm a no vote on these. And I'm surprised it took us this long for the rest of council to decide that they really don't like to hear from me on these, even though the big selling point, one of the big selling points when we adopted this program was that each of these would come before council Didn't take long for us to decide we don't want that to happen, because I might once again ask, what's the public purpose? How is it that we give individuals the right to act on public property? The example or the attempted analogy to construction permits doesn't fit, because people get construction permits for their private properties. The dune activities happen on public property. It's the only thing of its kind where we purport to give individuals rights to change the appearance of portions of the public property for no identified public benefit. If anyone, even tonight, I'll keep the offer open, has any public benefit that they can identify, even at this late date, I would love to hear it, but there isn't one. So, now and forever, I'm a no vote.
Reardon?
I just want to say that as far as our discussion is taking these permits off the agenda, that's the way it was forever. This ordinance has been in place for over 30 years. Before the amendment, we didn't have this, the authorizations come to council. So I just want to make it clear, it has nothing to do with Councilman DeLucre's comments. It's just something that doesn't need to be brought before council. So I vote yes on the ordinance here tonight, and that's that. Thanks.
Sarah?
I think it's important for us to have a public hearing. You know, we had a public hearing to create this, and I think that's really the proper time to discuss this issue. I think the matter at hand right now is the permits in front of us. You know, we hear from our city manager and the professionals who oversee this that everything's in order with this. So I will vote yes on this, but one of the things I want to say when it comes to, you know, the public good is the safety of our island really comes from, is when it comes to winter storms, that dune system. One of the things that's been said over and over too is this, the black pines that can grow in the dunes really aren't indigenous to the dunes, and if they get to too large of a size, they actually crowd out and kill the other vegetation, which allows the dunes to degrade and fall away. If you don't do some type of maintenance to make sure that those black pines don't overgrow, you're actually putting the entire island at risk. So, again, I vote yes.
Mayor Simpson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, I need a first and second on Resolution 2019-28, Safe and Secure Community Programs. This is a grant that Police Department gets every year, I believe. Tom, you want to talk about that? Or you want to have ex-chief talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, he knows you don't need to.
Mayor, that's correct. This is a grant that we've received for many, many years. It's from the Department of Justice. It's $30,000 to help offset the cost of one of our police officers that we hire. If we maintain a certain level of employment, a certain level of numbers, we get the $30,000.
Yeah, it was on our...
It was a last-minute
It was a
addition.
last-minute.
Oh, you're, all right, that's where I saw it. It was in the email. I remember.
Okay, before we go any further, we need
you.
need a first and second on it.
Came out today.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was Vince and Karen there, Lynn.
Okay.
Okay, now we got discussion. It's a $30,000 grant that we get every year. We get from for the police department. And
Well worth it.
Yes, ma'am.
hey, anybody wants to give us $30,000?
Is there a local match?
No.
Well, yeah. Not directly. Go ahead.
And we're doing this just because we've applied for a new grant. So this is one of the requirements. We have to provide a resolution that you authorize us to do it. But yes, we cover the remaining portion of all of the salary and the benefits associated with that office. And that's considered to be
The local match, okay.
Okay,
The numbers are still very good, right? It's like an extra 30% of what we
Yeah,
thought they
absolutely.
maxed that initial amount. It's solid.
okay, can I have roll call, please?
You?
Yes.
Lettieri? Yes. Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Sarah?
I'll tell you, one of the things I'm always proud of is that our professionals and our department heads always find ways to save money for the city. So yes.
Mayor Simpson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we're going to go into our consent agenda.
Andy, can we go back one to the CER trip refund?
Oh, okay, yes. Resolution, I need a first and second on a resolution 2019/27, CER trip refund.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Hear none, can I have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carries.
Now we're going to go into our consent agenda. We need the preteen Elks raffle license number 870, Brigantine raffle license 871, Brigantine Elks raffle license 872, and a request for a hook-on fishing request.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on that? Hear none, can we have roll call, please?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mayor Simpson,
Yes.
motion carries.
Now we have council management committee discussions. Anything the council or the manager wants to bring up at the particular time? How about the CFO? John, your department, I just want to tell you, you did a great job on the snow we had. You know, your guys and the women and everybody you have working underneath you did a great job. Me and the city manager were out most of the day, and we met up with you at Wawa, and city manager did not buy me coffee. I just want to mention that. Yeah, you got a receipt?
Can I
It was
say one thing?
$1 Wawa coffee, yeah.
There you go.
Right.
With the upcoming cold snap we're gonna have, just wanna remind everybody that if they've had problems with frozen pipes, to please leave the water running over.
Yeah, especially on Monday, I think it's really supposed to be really cold.
Yes.
You know.
10 degrees or so, or Sunday night, right?
Again, I say this all the time, I say it on the Don Williams show, I'd put your crew up against anybody, your police department, our fire, EMTs, against anybody in the state of New Jersey. I think you guys did the best job out there, and it shows.
Thank you.
City of Brigantine.
I had, if you don't mind, I'm
Good.
sorry.
Yep.
I had, maybe for the police chief, I had a complaint of school buses speeding in the morning, down Lafayette. It's not one of our Brigantine buses, but I think it's one of the high schools. It's right around 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And they said it's been going on for a couple weeks now, so,
I'll take care of it.
thank you.
I have a Green Team meeting update, just very quickly. Some of the committees reported, and the Sustainable Jersey Committee is working very hard to attain the silver certification. Currently, we have a bronze certification. It means a lot in grants and money for the city if we can attain that silver certification. The Green Team budget is in good shape. The Farmers Market Committee reported that they're looking for volunteers for their setup early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., and their breakdown in around 12:30. They need some volunteers that can do some heavy lifting for that committee. There have been recent recycling changes in Atlantic County, and I learned something new this week, that all counties in New Jersey have different regulations. So we have to let our visitors, our summer visitors, know that here in Atlantic County, we only accept number 1 and number 2 plastic recycling, where maybe the rest of some of the other counties where they live accept other numbers. So we have to be very careful. And the main thing to remember is, when in doubt, throw it out, because if you put too many things in, it contaminates our recycling bins, and it just messes everything up. So, more to come on that. Right, John?
Yes.
And that was it. Oh, I'd like to wish 2 people a happy birthday tomorrow. Our own Vince Sarah. I want to tell how old your parents
43.
43, all right.
I was going to say 86.
Yes, happy birthday, Vince. And our city manager, Jim Bennett, is celebrating a big birthday. He's turning 50 tomorrow. Happy birthday. Many, many more to go.
Paul, I know you just got up here, but if you have any comments, anything like that, you're more than welcome to talk about it now. Okay. Dennis, you have anything good for right now?
Good.
Don't you have a fundraiser coming up on Sunday?
Well, there is
For your son?
I was interested right here in Brigantine, actually, the Stockton University ice hockey team, which, they're not NCAA, they're ACHA, so Stockton University only gives them a very limited amount of money. They have to pay for their own travel and everything. So there is a fundraiser at the Laguna. It's $20 and includes that usual great buffet that they have, and all the money will basically go towards their travel costs.
Rick has a sample.
And where can people get tickets, Dennis?
You can see right here, Councilman DeLucre, is holding an example up here for me, so, yes.
I bought the class level, $500.
Thank you, Dennis. Rick?
Thank you.
Yes, one thing's been troubling me, and Paul, I voted for your appointment, but I got to be honest, you were not my first choice. My first choice was to have Mike Reardon get 2 votes. But Fred explained to me that's not possible, so.
Well, thank you, Rick.
Always thinking of you, Mike.
That's why we had to separate.
We had to separate them.
Mike,
Well, I just want to thank everybody that came out here tonight. Thanks for coming out. And John, like Mayor Simpson said earlier, I honest to God heard numerous compliments about the cleaning up on Sunday of the snow. And so that was fantastic. And also, I'm looking forward to, I want to congratulate Councilman Lettieri again. Look forward to working with him, with the people on the Upper East Side of Brigantine. I know we've been talking about a few things already, and there's going to be some exciting things coming out of the Upper East Side of Brigantine still.
So I had one more thing, too. This was sent out by a friend, but they're doing a 2-day collection for our local Coast Guard families. There's a lot of people right now who are, especially in our service, who are working without pay. So at the Brigantine American Legion, they're doing a gift card. You can do $50 or less. You can drop off multiple gift cards, but they're looking to help out our Coast Guard families, especially here in our community. It's going to be this Saturday and Sunday, January 19th and 20th, and I don't have the times, but I think it's between, sorry, I thought I had it right here, between 12 noon and 8 p.m. So you can drop off gift cards to try to help out some of our Coast Guard families, because right now they're still working, but they still
They
have
asking
bills to
for anything in particular, Vince? Visa cards?
Yeah.
Anything special? that
Yeah, they said gas cards and Visa cards would go a long way. One, to help pay for fuel, and two,
Wawa cards.
if they have Visa cards and things like that, then they can
when
pay
you
other
get
bills
your
with them. Yeah,
Yeah, you get a pick up a Wawa card. Okay.
yeah, Amazon cards, Walmart cards, things like that.
Great. Thanks.
Andy, can I just make a quick announcement? The Hand Up Brigantine, along with the True Spirit Coalition, we're doing an event called New Year, New You. It's going to be Thursday night here, January 24th, from 4 to 8 at City Hall right here. There's a store called Torrid, and it's over at the mall. They gave us a lot, well, probably like 18 boxes in my office right now of brand new clothes, size 10 to up to 5XL. So it's for women in need, seniors, military, first responders, anybody that can use some new clothes. They're brand new. Come next Thursday for between 4 and 8 and take whatever you need or whatever fits you. So, okay?
Maybe we can get that out to the Coast Guard people, see if they...
Yeah, that would be great.
Clothing,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bring a sack of...
Yeah, Lynn, if you just shoot me a little bit of information, I'll get it out, and
Great.
if you don't mind. Thank you.
Great.
Mayor, if I could just clarify that fundraiser, I don't know if I mentioned the time, it's 7 p.m. Sunday, and the players on that team, too, I mean, they were just out in the ice the other day just helping all these autistic children, and they're really like hands-on in the community, and if you ever want to go, just anybody in the audience here, or in the viewing audience, out on television, it's some really like top-level hockey, really, for our local area, and it's free admission, so you can just get the schedules online at Stockton. There's two of the best teams in the American Collegiate Hockey Association Eastern Division are Rowan University and Stockton right now, so
Did
they had a
they
game
play at
about a month
the
ago.
skate zone?
They played the skate zone in Atlantic City. It's just a stone's throw, no admission, and it's a nice time, so, thanks.
Thanks, Dennis. I've been in numerous meetings with the chief operating officer. What a save that was. And our city manager has been there on a few of these. We just met with the superintendent of schools. State of New Jersey's taken away some funding. We actually talked a little bit about, about the budget and stuff like that. There's certain things I would want to see from the schools, and they understood. Jonathan and Michelle from our schools. So they're going back and try to work out a plan. Again, I'm either no increases in tax rate down there. We probably there for about an hour and a half, and I was pretty vocal about no tax increases, and it's the only time Roxanne smiled when I told her. But Chief, you want to add anything to there? I mean, we had a Board of Education guy there, person there, and I was pretty adamant that we need to do some things different down there.
I think we made it very clear to them, you made it very clear to them, Roxanne. The other item that we did discuss was their school resource officer.
That's
and
correct.
Funding request for that.
And I told them, as long as I'm there, you'll always have one there. If they couldn't afford to pay for it, the city of Brigantine will pay for it. So either way, they're going to have a school resource. That's a guard down there with our environment that we live in today. I think that's very important because places where we're having problems at are places you think they could mimic Brigantine. So we're not going to take a chance. And I think the person we have there is excellent, and he doesn't cost us a hell of a lot. And I don't know what a life is worth, but we're not going to make that decision on finances when our teachers and our personnel down there, and certainly our kids deserve all that. For that amount of money, it deserves everything we can possibly give them. And as long as I'm mayor, I made it sure that we'll continue with the resource guard down there, and either the city of Brigantine will pay for it, or it's coming out of their budget, and I know which way Roxanne wants it. But so we're working together. Let's put it that way. And we've been tough talking it since I've been on the school advisory board. So it's been the last 4 years. So we've been pretty tough on those folks down there. So they're going to come up with a plan, and we're going to continue to work forward to continue our education down there as best as possible, and keep the finances under control, and the size of the school, and stuff like that. So that's an update on that. I'm going to open it up to the public. Right now, anybody wants to talk about anything they want to talk about, certainly can come up, name, address, and you got 5 minutes at the mic. Frank?
I don't know.
It's open mic time.
Frank and Jenny, 605 West Shore Drive. I gotta ask you a question. About several weeks ago, a buddy of mine from the VA Service Committee was here and was telling me about the so-called governor who took $1 million from our veterans transportation. Now, it was $1 million he took. Anyway, has that letter been written or sent out?
Yes, I believe that, I don't want to call him the old mayor, but I know he was in contact with our Senator Chris Brown, and he's getting some answers for us, and he'll relay them back through May. And,
Okay, but it hasn't been done yet.
If I could jump in.
Go ahead.
Actually, I was in the communications too. Senator Chris Brown has actually just reached out to us in the last couple of days. Not only did he give us a budget, but he had his staff put together an explanation of where the money was taken from. and where the money was sent, and that's
Yeah, I know. I
something
don't
that
like where it was sent.
Mayor Gunther has asked me to share with him because it's something that he wants to take public. But it's very, very important. It's a very concerning thing, especially when our veterans, the people who served our country, transportation to doctor's appointments has been
Yeah, it
taken
was,
away from them.
besides
It's wrong.
there are things that we have for them, but they go to, for doctors, hospital, or
Just on
everything
the
else.
Elks program that we have, which is very worthy, you know, for our veterans.
Yeah.
It's the doctors and other things that they provide.
Yes. Okay, then. Thanks.
Thanks, Ron. Yes, Mrs. Phillips.
Good evening. Ann H. Phillips, 308 27th Street, speaking on 4 topics. Number 1, due to certain events in 2018, including a hearing in municipal court involving a private citizen and a city volunteer, council and the solicitor became aware that an ordinance requiring continuous vetting and limits on volunteers in youth activities wasn't being enforced, in fact was being ignored. This is a serious issue of council accountability and governmental liability, with serious consequences for the city and taxpayers if harm occurs to a youth while participating in a city-sponsored activity due to city negligence. What action has council taken to ensure that its ordinance is being enforced fully, impartially, and on an up-to-date basis? 2, in the online city directory, each city's official's email address is at NJ.com. Except for that of you, Mayor Simpson. You have an email, gmail.com address, a private email for public business. We ask that the mayor use the official email address to eliminate any public suspicion of mixing public and private business. 3, this morning on Don Williams' program, the county executive, Dennis Levison, again extolled the county's long-time practice of changing auditors every 3 years. We've recommended this in the past as a best practice and recommend it to council again. This shouldn't be a partisan matter, but one of competence, integrity, and periodic change of oversight. And number 4, Mayor Simpson, your predecessor gave a State of the City address in February of the year. We recommend that you do the same as you see it. How do you see the city and its future? And what are your goals and your proposals to achieve them? Such a presentation, particularly as a first-time mayor, will help you to govern and help property owners to know what to expect and whether they agree with it or not. Now, I said 4 topics. I'm going to add a 5th right now in support, again, of Councilman DeLucre and his reason for objecting to the dune maintenance permits. This needs to be said again and again. It is private alteration, interference in public property. And of course, if you try to change it or you wish to amend it, there must be a public hearing because there is a big difference between the private property in construction and this is public property. And obviously, we're all fully aware of the tremendous advantage the dunes provide for our protection. Now, if there are any comments, and I hope there will be some, we'd like to hear them now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips. Wait a minute, sir. Any comments for Mrs. Phillips? Okay, see none?
Well, I would pose a question, because the first of those points, I mean, 2 of the points would be within Andy's control, and the one about me, thank you, but no response needed. But in terms of the background checks, I mean, I don't think anybody disputes how important it is, not just that we comply with it because it's in our ordinance, but objectively, that's something we need to be doing. So have we, since this became an issue a couple months back, have we updated and completed the background checks?
Yes, and the one thing that I guess I like to verbalize is the fact that the city did not ignore the importance of the background checks for individuals. We have a process that's in place. All we did was refresh the process to make sure that everybody understood how important it was. We sent out letters to the 5 organizations, letting them know that they are to provide the city a list of their volunteers in advance of their season beginning, and that the city will, if need be, prohibit use of city facilities if all of their volunteers have not gone through that certification. So it's not that the city has ignored it. We refreshed it to make sure that everybody understands how important it is to once again reinforce that there is a process, needs to be followed, and we'll do it in advance of the seasons as they begin. And we started with the hockey, I believe, season this year. And they have to provide a list of their volunteers, and we have to check off that we have received through this certification process.
Okay, so that'll be like a rolling compliance deadline for each
Yeah, I mean, the city's practice was an every 2-year recertification.
That
And
was
I
the
don't think
requirement.
anybody...
That was, Dennis and I have been involved in coaching youth sports for a long time here on the island, and it's been an ongoing practice. And as far as, I don't know, Dennis, with the background checks, it's a great program. We've all done it. You get fingerprinted, have a background check, and it's worked great. There's never been any problem, really, that I know of with any coaches or anything with the youths.
And I guess that you have to understand, too, the information that comes back, and you probably know this, Jimmy, better than anybody here, that it's very limited. It's either yes or it's a no.
Right.
Yeah. And there has to be convictions. It can't just be something that is...
Right.
The mere fact that the person was arrested or charged with something is not going to show up on the Idenco background checks that we run. They only show convictions, which is really what all we're interested in. If the guy was arrested or girl was arrested and the charges were dismissed or they were found not guilty or mediated away, that's fine. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
One question I have is to you, Fred. Imagine if Mrs. Phillips says we have a lawsuit going on, you would know about that, and I was never aware that we had a lawsuit going on.
My office is unaware of any lawsuits.
Okay. You said there was a law?
She mentioned, Mayor, an incident with a volunteer and somebody at a private business. That case went to...
Oh, that stupid thing?
Yeah, that case went to mediation. They plastered the accused individual's information all over Facebook as if it was his criminal history.
Yeah.
It was simply an arrest history. There were no convictions on it. That's why we stuck with and refreshed the program that we have.
And I'm sure the chief, you know the incident we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And while we're at it, too, I'd like to, I'll make a comment then on something
I
else.
apologize,
Our auditor, I want to compliment our auditor. We've cut taxes. If you don't realize, the last 3 years, this year we're going to be cutting taxes again. With the county taxes that are getting cut this year also, that was announced this morning, I think our auditor and chief financial officer are doing a tremendous job with the books and the budget, and I have no problem keeping the auditor that we have now and find no reason to change the auditor.
I think one of the issues, too, is sometimes people want change for the sake of change. But if you have something that's working very well and you have someone who really is one of the best people, not only in the county but in the state, if you look at the outstanding shape our finances are in, the fact that we have continued to lower taxes, I think we're in good shape.
Whoa. Different guy up here. It was our auditor I just talked to. He has 21 out of the 23 cities in Atlantic County. So So that's got to tell you something. Landing County can do what they want to do. Last couple of years, we're the ones lowering taxes. I think we're doing a great job. For my Gmail, I never even knew I had a Gmail. I'm assuming it's my assistant's, so she can get out to me, anybody that calls me, as soon as possible, you know, and I'm going to ask our city manager to ask Ryan if that's hers. If it is, to see if they can link it to my, I do have a city account. Okay.
Realistically, what's the difference? He's not the President of the United States or running for
I could
President,
be.
you know? I know you could be. I'd vote for you. But, you know, if a person wants to use their, a separate email account
I
for...
don't even know who it is. I don't have a Gmail.
For
I have
city
AOL.
email.
That's how old I am. I got AOL.
What difference does it make?
I think the issue is, yeah, I think it's just for transparency's sake and just to have consistency.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all.
And again, it goes to my assistant, Jim's assistant, and it's just for her to get it out as quickly as possible to me to handle whatever problems come about. You're up.
Evening.
May I just for a moment, and also regarding Mrs. Phillips, on item number 1 on the background checks, there was an exoneration of that one person that was kind of referred to here, so I think we should make note of that, and at the same time, hand in hand with that, just all the countless hours of all the good people that go down there, we should never forget about that, and just have people thinking about something that would somehow, some people might think it would be a blemish, when really there's nothing but just great work being done in all our different sports here by all the different volunteers.
Thank you, Dennis. Great.
Evening. Stephen Fromm, 204 13th Street North. I'm curious about the what's been erected down by the tower. It looks like it's a sludge area for something being poured into there. And, I mean, they have a fencing up and hay bales going all the way around it. It appears to be like drainage sand or something that looks pretty nasty, and it's
I think John
being
Doring
spread out there.
Yeah, John Doring has
It is the, from the Evans Boulevard project, it is the boring that we're pulling out. It's basically
Materials.
beach sand that has to sit and de-water, and
Right.
then we're gonna use it for fill. It's not contaminated. It's not, you know, it's good fill.
It's good, Phil.
Yes.
It's happy sand.
It's happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other is...
I don't have to give it a timeout.
And it's not going to stay there permanently.
Oh, no, we needed a big area to de-water because we're doing from the school to 12th Street North at a 36-inch diameter, so it's a lot of fill.
Okay.
The other is on my street. It's a one-way street. Either apparently people do not know how to read, or the signs there are not big enough. Something needs to be looked at, because I'm screaming at traffic running the wrong way on my street consistently. And the buses, there must be a speed limit sign somewhere, and they need to learn how to obey it, because they come barreling down our street consistently. I'd like to know, see if something can be done about that.
We had a meeting with New Jersey Transportation. We tried to get the buses to make a U-turn there, and they said they couldn't do it. Actually, Paul Lettieri asked me to do something about that in the summertime. Me, Roxanne, John Doring, we're out there in 150-degree weather, and these guys, everybody agreed that they could make a U-turn except the one guy that really was in charge. And so we're still working on that. We're trying to get some bus shelters, so I don't want to press them too much. But we're definitely, I know with Paul on board, I'm going to let him run with that and see what we can do, either that or make it no trucks or buses allowed or something like that, and we'll pass an ordinance.
It'd be nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Paul, there's your first assignment.
I know what it talks about.
Yeah.
The bus will sometimes, sits off to the side, and then when it gets ready to start its route, They'll go around and come whipping around the street to try to catch up time. Other times, I watch them make a U-turn.
Yeah,
They'll make a U-turn and go back up.
yeah.
One night,
They make the U-turn all the time.
there was a remark made that he pulled out, or she pulled out, went down 14th Street, came up Beach, turned down 13th, came back up, and instead of making a right, made another left-hand turn, and then parked along the curb by the beach, and about 10 minutes later, made a U-turn and went back up the avenue. So sometimes it just makes no sense. It always seems like they're trying to make up time. They're trying to go around that corner and get down, and they roll through the stop sign on the corner. And it's not every driver. It's not every driver. Just a couple do it.
Vince?
I was just going to say too, Stephen, at the end of the meeting, if you could make sure Paul has your contact information, so that way he can follow up with you. Right, Steve? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, just write it down.
Anybody else from the public? Frankie D? I'm calling you out. Okay, see none. Any more comments from council? Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being here for our first full-time one in 2019, and me as mayor.
You did a great job.
Thank you, and I appreciate Paul coming on board and making our council full again, and looking forward to 2019 with Jimmy and Roxanne and, of course, Tiger, whatever he comes. And Tommy and John, and of course you, Fred. You know. And thank you, Mrs. Phillips, for me being able to holler out. Thank you, Mrs. Phillips, I appreciate it. And thanks for everybody being here. And I need a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Thank you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Alrighty. Good news.
That's the plug. I think the court's getting mad. He picked it up and it don't work.